What's up, everybody? Welcome to Human Innovation Tarot. My name is Eddie with Imagine Life Development Center. And today in this reading, basically, this is whatever comes out. I've never done a reading like this before. So who knows? If you're new to my channel, I greatly appreciate it if you would click the like and subscribe button. All the information you need to know is in the description box below. All right. So this is literally whatever comes out. I have no idea. It could be anything. It could be love, could be career, could be messages from spirit. It could be anything. And the pressure is on me to interpret and decipher whatever comes out. All right, the first card out is lessons. So obviously, we have a transition. One more. So this is definitely more, so far, I would say, like a message from spirit. Yeah, courage. So, give me three more. Two more, please. Okay, so we have like a storyline here. So this is definitely more like a message from spirit type of reading, I guess. So we have lessons, transition, courage, celebration. We have trauma in reverse and fated destiny. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have excitement. We have mask. We have children. We have conflict. Mastery, deception, soul contracts, and second chances. Yeah, so I mean, there's quite a bit going on here. So it does seem that there is an implication of relationships in the message just based on the other cards that are at the bottom of the deck here. But basically, you or somebody connected to you has been going through or has gone through some shit with the lessons card here. And as a result of going through the lessons, the purpose of going through the lesson, rather, is to go through this transition here. This transition energy. And essentially, what this is meant to do is to create a sense of spiritual enlightenment, but also a sense of courage, bravery, and it's interesting. I've never had this energy attached to this card before, but it really has to do with the North Node. Your North Node specifically, because our North Node is kind of where our power is. It's out of our comfort zone, but it's where our fulfillment is in this lifetime, in this incarnation. Whereas our South Node in astrology has to do with our comfort zone. It's what we're used to. And it's tied to the things that we've already done, we already accomplished in a past life. So when we incarnate in this lifetime, we're already predisposed to the lifetimes before that we lived. So that's why it's kind of our comfort zone. And this is just a very paraphrased, dumbed down version of a more complex concept, a more complex concept. But essentially, there are lessons that you or somebody attached to you or both has gone through or it's going through, the intention of which is to essentially move you and them into a place where you understand your spiritual destiny here. So, yes, there is a form of courage that's involved. In other words, stepping out of our comfort zone. And that's what the lesson is essentially meant to do. It's like when you've gone through something hard enough and you've gone through enough shit in life, it develops thick skin, right? It's like when you've gone through something really, really bad and gnarly in life, it's not so difficult to do something that seems easier, right? And so that's kind of the energy that I get off of that card. It's like you've been through worse things than the thing that's in front of you that's calling to you, that's intended to lead you towards your spiritual destiny here. And so you're in this transition. So this transition is the bridge between the lessons, the difficult, painful things that you've gone through, you and a person attached to you, or both of you. This is the bridge from what you've been going through to where you need to be, which is in this courage, the North Node type of energy. Now, from there, there's this celebration energy, because it's almost like as we step into kind of this new dimension or this new reality of this new version of us that we've become as a result of learning the lessons back here, going through the transition, essentially answering the call, embracing our North Node destiny. There's kind of like a little bit of a honeymoon phase because we're like, oh my God, I've never been this version of me and it feels so good. And here we have the trauma in reverse, which is really good because the trauma in reverse means that we've realized what our problems are. We've dealt with it. We've healed it. We recognize it. We're consciously aware of our issues, our traumas, anything having to do in our past that was tied to this lesson's energy. And now we're stepping into our destiny, fated destiny. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have excitement. So excitement is the excitement of now realizing, essentially having this awakening, having this revelation, have this epiphany of like, oh my God, I get it now. I understand my why and my what for. I understand the meaning and the purpose of my life. I understand why I had to go through all this shit in my life to arrive here, because it was part of a destiny. It was part of a calling, part of a journey, something, all this stuff that I had to go through to get to where I am, to be the me that I've become. And it's exciting. It's exciting to realize that all that stuff, everything leading up to this moment in time was working out for your highest good. So, which one do we do? Let's go this first. So I'm just gonna again, whatever comes out. There's no theme, there's no agenda. It's just whatever comes out. And I will do my best to interpret. So these cards are specifically in regards to a soulmate or a soulmate connection. So we have the journey card. It says, I see a journey in our future. Is this how we'll meet? We have career. It might be a while before we get to meet because I'm totally focused on my career right now. So for some of you, this is implying that you have not met your destined or your fated, your fated destiny, your destined person here. That's what that card is over there. It's like the Wheel of Fortune. You haven't met them yet, but you're about to. You're going to. Because they've been learning their lessons just like you have. I'm getting the name Melissa. I don't know if there's somebody named Melissa or the name Melissa resonates with anybody. I'm getting the name Joe or Joseph. Also getting the name Emil. I think I'm saying that correctly. It's what I'm hearing. Emil. Anna. Lucinda. Sherry. Tom or Thomas. Lynn. A bunch of names are wanting to come through. Dave or David. And Krista. Maria, Mia, and Jacinda. So there's a lot of names that are wanting to come through. So the next card we have Jaded. I'm not at a place in my life where I can provide love to a partner because I'm still stuck in the past. The next is the One. I'm the person who can understand you in a way that no one else can. We have Comfortable. Are you really ready to give up your old ways to be with me? So there's a mixture here. Some of this is new energy. Some of this is past energy. We have Trauma, which is interesting because this is right next to the Trauma card in reverse. I'm working through my trauma so I can be whole for you. And this card, I know it's a little bit hidden because it's down here behind the camera. We are going to build something incredible together. And at the bottom of the deck, we have Heartbreak. I'm not ready for you yet because I'm still in the process of healing from my last relationship. And the divine is saying, you guys will know who this is. For those of you that are, connected to a past person, you know who this is. Obviously, if you're not, there's not a past energy that you're resonating with, then this is a new energy. In which case, you wouldn't know who this is. But it's fine. Because you will when the time is right. All right. Now, these cards are about your money, your career, and your finances. Whatever comes out. All right, we have Dependent. You can't fully come into your power if you rely on others for financial support. We have Love. Love is the greatest of successes on the path to prosperity. Who can fully experience abundance without it? Yeah. Never assume that materialism and money and wealth just alone transcends the power of love. Because if you don't have love, you can have all the money in the world, all the material shit in the world, the status and all that. But if you don't have love, then it's worth nothing. Destiny. You have a divine destiny to fulfill through your career path. Your work will help elevate the consciousness of this planet. Yeah, some of you have a higher calling. Absolutely. Unworthy. Do you genuinely believe in your worthiness to attain the abundance you desire? And this is obviously tied to maybe perhaps some of the trauma that needs to be worked through or just some of the limiting beliefs. And then entrepreneurship is at the bottom of the deck. As an entrepreneur, you will truly have an opportunity to discover yourself and all of your potential. So for those of you who have been toying around with the idea of starting your own business, or maybe you have already started your own business, the divine wants you to know that obviously it's part of your spiritual destiny. All right. Anything else that wants to come out? Three of Pentacles. What else for the collective? All right, so the Three of Pentacles is all about, there's several energies attached to the Three of Pentacles here for you all. Let me get it on camera here. So there's the Three of Pentacles. I'll put it right here. We have the Ace of Swords that came out, and then we have the Devil, which is Capricorn energy. So you could be a Capricorn. You could be dealing with a Capricorn. So the Three of Pentacles, the first energy that's attached to this is all about you being willing to go out and get the knowledge, skills, or advice, basically being a student of life. Are you teachable? Are you going out? Are you actively looking for people who can show you and teach you and help you acquire the skills that you need in regards to whatever it is that you desire, right? Because doing the same thing over and over and over again and with the limited amount of knowledge and experience that we all have is the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So the Three of Pentacles is asking us to humble ourselves and to go and acquire the knowledge from somebody who knows more than we do about whatever the thing is that we're craving in life. So like years ago, when so I was married for 10 years, and this is a long time ago. I was married for 10 years and my ex-wife left me from a best friend of 17 years. And so in order for me to really understand what all contributed to the end of my marriage, and for me to really understand and grow and understand what how do I win at the game of relationships, right? How do I win when it comes to relationships and dealing with the opposite sex and understanding women and all these things? I had to go on a journey. I had to invest time, energy, money, intention. I had to want it. It's not something that was going to be handed to me. It's like if I wanted to know how to be successful in this area of my life so that I would never have to go through a very painful experience like I did in my divorce, then I was going to, the value of anything is the amount of life you're willing to exchange for it. So I went all in. I immersed myself into understanding relationships for for 5 years after my divorce. I was obsessed. I read every book. I took courses, anything and everything. And all these years later, I ended up writing my own book about relationships. All the knowledge, all the experiences, all the information that I've learned in the last 11 years, I've been divorced now longer than I was married. And so all that knowledge that I have, I wanted to put it into a book that would be beneficial for other people. So that's just an example of the Three of Pentacles from my own life. Is I had, for many years, I was the student. And then as I learned that information and I put it into use in my own life and I went out and I utilized that information and I got different results than I did in my marriage, I realized this stuff works. And because it works, and I know that it works, because if it works for me, it can work for anybody, I wrote a book. And the purpose of writing the book was basically to teach people how to win at the game of relationships. So for some of you guys, what is it in your life that has been difficult for you? Has it been your money, your work, your self-esteem, your career, relationships? What's been difficult for you? And the Three of Pentacles, the advice here is urging you essentially to not assume that you know it all and not assume that, doing nothing is going to get a different result. Like, it's really about having the humility to embrace the limitations of your knowledge and your experience, but also be humble enough to go out and acquire the skills and the knowledge from somebody else who knows more than you so that you can actually succeed. Whether that's books, whether that's courses, whatever, a mentor, it doesn't matter. Whoever or whatever source that you can get more information from that can essentially pass along the right type of knowledge to you so that you can win and be successful. That's what the Three of Pentacles is here. Now, the second energy attached to this is about some of you guys putting more effort into the things that you desire. So if you want a relationship, how much effort and time and energy are you putting into going after it, creating it? Because this is about building. The Three of Pentacles is laying bricks. It's the building phase. You're constructing something. And if you're not putting forth effort into the things that you desire, then obviously those things are never going to manifest. We have to participate in the reality that we desire to experience. So if you want love, Are you playing full out? Are you participating in the creation of the reality called love and relationships that you desire? If it's more money, if it's status, whatever that thing is, if it's better health, you have to participate in creating it and building it. Okay? The third energy attached to this is about being aware of the environment in which you exist in. Because if you're in an environment that disempowers you, whether it's family, friends, a job, whatever the environment is, your surroundings, are you, for the most part, are your surroundings helping you grow, evolve? Are they supportive? Are they empowering you? Are they making you a better person? Are they pushing you further towards your goals and the things that you want? Is there accountability? Is there growth? Is there evolution? Is there expansion? Is there creation? Are you becoming a better person as a result of the environment that you're in? Or is it the opposite of everything that I just said? Is it, stagnant? Is it contracting? Is it destructive? Is it gossipy? Is it low vibrational? It's about you knowing the type of environment that you're in. Because if you camp out in the wrong environment, then eventually you will become a product of that environment. That environment is going to be negatively influencing you if it's not a positive environment. So you want to surround yourself with the same vibrational energies that you're aspiring to. Like, so if you're setting the bar, like, this is where I want to be in love, career, relationships, whatever that is, whatever is higher and better than where you're at now, then you need to put yourself in an environment where that's the energy of that environment. You have to find a way to put yourself in the vibrational energy of an environment that's conducive to that. You can't be in a low vibrational environment that's way down here, and yet you want things that are up here. It doesn't work that way. This is just literal science that I'm talking here. Okay? Like, there's a reason that flies and maggots are drawn to shit. There's a reason that bees are drawn to honey. And there's a quote, there's a saying about that. Something about, bees convincing flies that honey tastes better than shit. Something like that. I don't know. I don't have the quote memorized, but it's something to that effect. So some of you need to take inventory and you need to be honest with yourself about the environment that you're putting yourself in. We all get what we tolerate. And so if your friends, your family, your work, whatever environment, if it's a toxic environment, you have toxic family, you have toxic friends, you have whatever, then how is that serving you? How's that making you better? How is that helping you get to where you need to be, where you want to be in your life? It's not. So the divine is basically telling you, like, look, you can want the more, all you want. And the more is your dreams, your desires, the things that you really, really want. You can want it all day long. You can want the relationship. You can want the money. You can want the raise. You can want the health. You can want the body. You can want whatever you want. But wanting something is not enough to make it a reality. Wanting it's not going to get it, right? It's not going to get it to you. It's not going to manifest it for you. And so there's a decision. We can just sit and camp out in fantasy where we're just forever imagining, hoping, wishing, and desiring something, but we never actually get it. Or we can do the thing that actually gets it. And so the Three of Pentacles is here saying, for some of you, you're wanting things in your life, but you're surrounding yourself with people and situations and circumstances that will never, ever, ever, ever help you get there to the thing that you want, right? Which brings us to the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords is simply the truth. And it's cut and dry. No pun intended. The truth sets us free when we're willing to embrace the truth. There are things in your lives, all of our lives, that we know, if we're willing to be honest with ourselves for half a second, where we know what the truth is. Because the divine's been telling us, and deep down inside, we know. Now, whether or not we want to embrace the truth, or whether we choose, because it's a choice, to be in denial of the truth, that's a different story. But nevertheless, the truth still stands. And the divine is saying, look, if you want to see progress in your life, you have to get out of denial, and you have to be willing to embrace the truth no matter how hard it is to swallow. Because when you're actually willing to embrace the truth will set you free. Only if you're willing to embrace the truth, no matter what it is, no matter how good it feels, right? And so this is kind of like spirituality 101. True spirituality 101 is becoming a neutral observer. And it's like releasing expectations, becoming a neutral observer. And I'm just here to receive. Show me. Show me the truth. I want the truth, nothing but the truth. Show me the fucking truth. I just want the truth. I don't care how real it is. I don't care how hard it is. I don't care what the truth is. Just show me the truth. And when you mean it, the divine knows when you mean it. The divine knows when you're full of shit and when you're being fake, and knows when you're being truthful and honest. If you're being honest, the divine goes, okay, you're ready for the truth. Here it is. And then when you get the truth, when you apply it to your life, that's when things change. Okay, now last we have the devil. The devil is pretty obvious. The devil is anything that's toxic, anything destructive, anything obsessive, anything that controls us, or anything that we can't let go of that's not in our highest good. So what in your life is the devil for you? We all have a devil. Even Superman had kryptonite, right? We all have a kryptonite. What is your kryptonite? The divine is asking you to explore with the Ace of Swords the truth about what your kryptonite is. We need to get real with ourselves. We need to have that level of awareness. We need to know what the chink in our armor is, so to speak. We need to know where we're vulnerable, where we're susceptible, where we're weak. We need to have conscious awareness around the thing that we know is a hurdle, obstacle, or struggle, potentially. So that we always have that. We always have the devil somewhere in our eye's view. We always have our eye on him, so to speak. Now, some people, some of you out there, the devil's got you by the balls right now. And I'm just keeping it real. This is again, this whole reading is whatever came out. This is the divine. This isn't me calling it out. It's the divine through me calling it out. The devil has you by the balls. The devil could be a toxic relationship. It could be a toxic family member. It could be a toxic job. It could just be addictions or patterns and habits that you have within yourself. And the divine is saying, when you're ready for the truth will set you free from the bondage of the devil. Only when you're ready. And if you're happy being in bondage with the devil, then you'll remain in bondage to the devil. That's just how it works. It's free will. There's the divine only has two non-negotiables with all of us. The first one is the divine will never violate your free will. The second is the divine will never give you anything that's not in your highest good. So if you're using your free will to be in bondage to the devil, you'll stay captive. You'll stay enslaved to the devil, rather. It is what it is. But when you're ready and you're sick and tired of being controlled and held captive by the devil, the divine is here with the sword that can free you, which is the truth. But you have to be willing to accept the truth, embrace the truth, and receive the truth. And that's what will set you free from the devil. The truth will set you free. And so you just have to be willing to get out of denial, and you have to be willing to acknowledge the fact that for now, it seems or it feels like you're powerless to it. There's an admission to the illusion that it feels like for now you're powerless. And I understand because I've been there before. I've been held captive by the devil before in my life, so to speak. So I know what it's like to be in bondage and have to go, okay, I don't feel like I have the power to free myself from this. And for me, it was a relationship, right? But once I admitted it and I got out of denial and I turned to the divine for assistance and I asked the divine for assistance, the divine helped me and assisted me, gave me the sword of truth, and I accepted that truth 100% for exactly what it was, no more, no less. And that truth ultimately is what gave me my freedom from that situation. So, it's a choice. You can free yourself from the devil, or you can remain held captive to the devil. Now, that's just for some people out there. And you will know, if you're being honest with yourself, you'll know if you're one of those people. And I'm not here to judge you. I'm just here to be the messenger, so don't shoot the messenger. So, there's not a card for this on the table, but it's a channel message for you. Because this is near future. The intention of all this is near future. We're approaching the end of January. So already we're nearing the close of the first month of 2025. As we move into February, the second month of the year, what have you learned? What have you taken inventory of? Because we are in a 9 universal year, which means endings, closing out things, learning everything over the last 9 years of our lives. What have you learned? How have you grown? What no longer serves you? What needs to be, cleaned up, removed, cut away, left behind? Because 2026 is a brand new 9-year cycle. So, as we move into the second month, as we move into, in about a week or so, we move into February. This is a great opportunity to really, really, really clean house and make way for the energy of 2025. Because January and February really they're still, it's like, we'll call it the cusp energy of 2024. So it's like it's like the runoff. There's still the lingering 2024 energy. We haven't really moved entirely into 2025's energy just yet. So this is a great time, a really, really great time to take inventory of your life and to decide once and for all how you want to move forward. Because as I mentioned in, which for me is the most important videos that are on my channel, at least up until June or July of this year, if you go on the playlist, you'll see Universal Year 9, Part 1 and Part 2. Those 2 videos are the most important videos by far that I will upload between now and June or July, hands down. And so if you haven't watched those, I highly recommend that you go watch those videos. But this is a great time. This is a great time to really get clear on how you want to move forward and take control of your life. Because as I mentioned in that 2-part video, there's really only one of 2 paths this year. One of 2 groups of people. Group 1 this year could potentially be one of the best years of your life. Group 2, this could potentially be one of the worst years of your life. Every single person, everybody is going to go into one of those two groups. This is either going to be one of the best years of your life, or it's going to be one of the absolute worst years of your life. You get to decide. And so this reading really has a lot to do with that. Right? It's like a second or third chance to really evaluate, how do you want to move forward this year? Like, because if you're just going to mindlessly go into the rest of the year not really taking it serious, you might end up in that category, that group of people where this ends up being one of the worst years of your life. And if you're like, well, how's that possible? If you're curious about that, again, go watch the two-part video that I mentioned. And that's not me here to sound all apocalyptic and doomsday and you know, to be negative. I'm just here to keep it real with you all. Like, it just is what it is. Like, this year is not fucking around. That's what I'm going to tell you. That's the simplest way I know to tell it to you. This year is not fucking around. And so it's kind of like forcing everybody, like it's boot camp. Like, it doesn't care what's happened to you. It doesn't care what you did any of the years before. It doesn't care what state you're in. It doesn't care what your struggle is. It doesn't care. It just doesn't care. It's like, look, you know, whatever state of being that you are in entering into 2025, okay, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, if you don't want this year to completely kick your ass and be one of the worst years of your life, then you're going to have to man up or woman up, and, you know, basically you're either going to get on the path that's in your highest good or you're not. And basically there are consequences for both. There's positive consequences for being on the path for your highest good. And there's going to be consequences for those of you that are like, nah, whatever. And so, and again, I'm just the messenger. It's not me trying to be doomsday, apocalyptic into the world. It's cycles. History goes through these cycles. And this is just one of those cycles. I don't choose it. Nobody else chooses it. It's a fractal. It's a cycle. And we go through this. Every so many years, we go through these cycles. And for those of you that are doing the work, this is going to be an amazing year for you. For those of you that are not, it's going to be hell in a handbasket. There's going to be a lot more of this. A lot more of this, and you don't have to go through that. It's unnecessary. So, obviously, my advice, if I were you, is I would get on my path. I would, heed the truth and the advice of the divine, and not just from me, for wherever you get it. Whatever you trust as divine guidance, right? And if you're following divine guidance, then your source of divine guidance will lead you in the path or towards the path that's right for you, obviously. So hopefully this makes sense. Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. All the other information is in the description box below. And as always, my friends,
I'm not a bloody psychic.